I didn't plan on staying in Hoi An. One night, see the lanterns, leave. That's what everyone says. I started asking people at the hostel later. Almost everyone came for a day or two, and almost everyone stayed for a week. Hoi An does this to people, quietly, without warning. You just realize at some point that you don't want to go anywhere. The night market starts around 6 in the evening. At first it's still slow. Vendors are setting up. Someone's adjusting the lights. The smell of food is already drifting through the air. But by 8, everything changes. People arrive, lots of people, and the market seems to truly wake up. I walked without a destination. That was intentional. When you walk with a purpose, looking for souvenirs, looking for food, looking for a specific street, you look at your phone and miss everything around you. And here you can't afford to miss things. Something is happening every 10 meters. There's a woman, maybe 60 years old, sitting at a small table and sewing right here, in front of customers. Fast, practiced, not looking at her hands. In front of her, finished dresses, bags, wallets. She never looked up in the few minutes I stood nearby. She didn't need to call out to anyone. Her work spoke for itself. Next to her, a boy, maybe 10 years old. He was selling bracelets, 3 for $1, 5 for $1.50. He counted change in his head faster than I could follow. No calculator, no register, just in his head. I bought 2 bracelets, not because I needed them. I just wanted to watch him count one more time. The smell at the night market is a story on its own. It's almost impossible to describe in words. It's not one smell, it's layers. First you catch something fried, spicy, then lemongrass and ginger, then coconut, something sweet, then spicy again, but different. I stopped at a stall selling ko lao, a local dish made only in Hoi An. Legend has it that the water for the dough comes specifically from here, from ancient wells that are hundreds of years old. I don't know if that's true or just a beautiful story for tourists, but the dish is real. Thick noodles, pork, greens, crispy rice crackers on top. I finished one portion and immediately got back in line for a second. Standing next to me was a couple, French by the sound of it. They photographed their food for about 3 minutes before eating. Then the girl took a bite and closed her eyes. That kind of reaction needs no translation. Hoi An sits on the Thu Bon River, and at night, the river is its own world. From the bank you can see boats drifting with lanterns, yellow, red, pink. They reflect on the water and create something that makes you want to just stand and watch. Not film, just stand and watch. Tourists release paper lanterns, the kind with a small flame inside. They say you need to make a wish before it leaves your hands. I watched a young woman do this, alone, no company. She held the lantern for a long time without letting go. Maybe she couldn't decide on a wish. Maybe she just didn't want that moment to end. I understood her completely. Night markets are a great place to watch people. Not what they buy, but how they behave. Some tourists move through with a plan. Map, list, budget. They walk fast, barely stop, photograph on the move. By the end of the evening, everything is checked off. But you get the feeling they never really saw the market at all. Others move slowly. They stop at every stall, try things, touch things, talk to vendors. Even without a shared language, through gestures, laughter, a calculator held up for bargaining. They leave with fewer things, but with something else, with stories. I saw an older man, European, alone. He was sitting at a small table with Vietnamese coffee, just watching the crowd. No rush anywhere. Occasionally he smiled at something, maybe a memory, maybe just the moment itself. I envied that ability, to simply sit and be exactly where you are. Hoi An is one of the few places in the world where the old town has been preserved almost untouched. Yellow walls, wooden shutters, tiled roofs. At night, with lanterns glowing everywhere, it looks like a film set. Too beautiful to be real, but it is real. People live here. In these houses with yellow walls, ordinary life goes on. Grandmothers watching TV through open doors, cats sleeping on doorsteps, music coming from somewhere. Live music, not from a speaker. A tourist town that somehow stayed a living town. That's rare, and that's probably the main reason people keep coming back. I left the market around 11, walked back along the river. The lanterns on the water had thinned out. The city was starting to fall asleep. Boats were still drifting. Music was playing somewhere far away. I thought about how the best places aren't the ones with the most to see. They're the ones where you want to stop and just breathe. Hoi An is one of those places. I flew out 5 days later than I planned, like everyone does. If you're watching this and haven't been to Hoi An yet, just book your hotel with a few extra days buffer. Trust me on that one.